What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am MLB Chatterbox. My name is Christian Corey. Welcome back to another video. You see the title and the thumbnail. In today's video, some very interesting news coming out of Mets camp again. Not necessarily bad, but it has the potential to be bad for the Metropolitans. The Mets just cannot catch a break, I swear. It doesn't matter if it's an injury or some news regarding a star player that could be not around for long. So all that in today's video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, guys. So you see the title and the thumbnail in today's video. It has been reported that Francisco Lindor has made it clear that he wants a deadline and does not want to talk about contract extensions past opening day. He wants to get it done right here and now in spring training with only, I do believe, like less than 3 weeks away from opening day. He wants to get it done right now. And that's good but not good for the Mets, because if the Mets do not get things rolling and get a deal done, it looks like Francisco Lindor will test free agency. Now in free agency, he can always sign back with the Mets. That's 110% possible. But again, when you're in free agency, you have a lot of options. You got 29 other options out there. You know, realistically speaking, probably not 29, but you get the gist. But he has other options once he hits free agency. He cannot talk to any other teams right now. So he can talk to the Mets and the Mets only when it comes to contract extensions or a new deal or redoing the deal. Most likely an extension of a brand new deal if he signs back with the Mets. Now, it's interesting to talk about this now just because how late we are in the season and the fact that there's been reports out there that the Mets have already gave him an offer that is just under $300 million per multiple reports. Here's one by Yahoo Sports. It says, Mets shortstop Francisco Lindor made it clear he doesn't want contract negotiations to bleed into the MLB regular season. SNY MLB insider Andy Martino reports that the Mets have made a contract extension offer to Lindor for just under $300 million, but Lindor's team countered way over that price tag. Martino says the Mets are willing to hit the $300 million mark or could go a little bit over if that's what would keep the star shortstop in New York. So the Mets would like to just be smack dab at $300 million. They would go a little bit over, which a little bit maybe 310, 315, no more than 320, I would assume, because that's not, you know, once you get past 320, that's not a little bit over. That's a lot over $300 million. So I would assume between the 310, 315, max 320 when you're saying they want to go a little bit over $300 million. So that's interesting. And another thing from another article talks about what Lindor had to say about these contract negotiations. And again, this kind of solidifies the idea that he's serious about not wanting these negotiations to go into the MLB regular season here in 2021. This is what he says about it, Francisco Lindor. He says, earlier this week, Lindor confirmed that he and the Mets are in active extension talks. He also set a hard deadline for those, saying he won't negotiate past the end of spring training. So according to Lindor, this is a hard deadline. I mean, the minute we break camp is the minute we break negotiation talks. Like, that's basically what he's saying. Now, could that change? Yes. Could the last day of spring training they offer him $330 million? Yes. Now, I always thought personally that the Mets would be fine going over $300 million. Hitting that mark would be a minimum in my eyes for the Mets. I thought they'd be okay with it. I thought they would, you know, be okay with exceeding 330, which is Harper's contract, or 340, which is Tatis's contract. I thought he would beat Tatis's contract because of who the Mets are and how Stephen A. Cohen has just hyped this whole offseason up. And I always thought this was the move they have to make if they want to win the offseason or make it look like they won the offseason for their fans. Because, again, they didn't make a lot of gigantic moves other than this trade. I think if Francisco Lindor does not sign a deal with the Mets, this season, whether it's before spring training, after spring training, during the season, whenever, I think it will be a failure unless they win the World Series of an offseason. A failure of an offseason. Because, again, Carrasco's out for the count for 6 to 8 weeks, and now that Lindor is only going to be here for a year and not win you a World Series, I mean, that's just going to suck. And again, who they gave up to the Indians, yes, they gave up a lot of prospects to the Indians in that deal. This is what they gave up. They gave up an infielder, Andres Gimenez, infielder Ahmed Rosario, right-handed pitcher Josh Wolf, and outfielder Isaiah Green. Now, I looked at this to see if any of these guys were in the top 100 for prospects. The list that I saw did not show any of them in the top 100 list, being the guys they gave up and sent over to Cleveland. I looked at it. I did not see any. Josh Wolf is ranked number 11 on the Indians' top prospect list. This is just the Indians. This is not MLB's. This is the Indians organization's top 100 prospects. And then the other one who's ranked on the Indians' top 100 list is Isaiah Green. He's ranked number 22. So, again, Isaiah Green is in rookie ball, and Josh Wolf is, again, ranked 11th in the Indian system, and he is, again, in rookie ball as well. So, I mean, these weren't top-tier guys they gave up here. I mean, I'm sure they have great potential, but according to what I see, they're not in the top 100 list when it comes to MLB's list in 2021. They're not in any high levels, and I think, Mets fans should care less about what they gave up. I think the fact is that you have him, and, again, you gave up a lot, but you didn't give up, the cream of the crop here, so to speak. You didn't give up, your number one, your number two, your number three. You gave up, guys that aren't even ranked in the top 100 in MLB and, are not even cracking the top 10 in the Indians farm system. So, and who are in very low levels of baseball professionally. So it's not like you gave up, cream of the crop. So I guess that's my point. If you're a Mets fan, you got to feel a little bit better about that if Francisco Lindor somehow does not sign back. Do I think he will? Yes. Is he being a jerk? Yes, he's being a jerk a little bit. He's saying, well, I'm not going to sign, once the season starts. No, I can't do that. I got to focus. Yeah, crap. BS. If money coming his way, and they will offer him, what the number he wants, whether that's, 345, 350, whatever that, magic number is, if they offer that to him and it's, April 15th, he'll take it. Heck, he'd take it on July the 4th if they offered it to him. So I think it's, just a negotiation game that he's playing with the Mets, saying I'm not going to sign, once the season starts. I think that's a bunch of horse crap. But I think, they need to sign him back. But this is interesting. If he walks, this will not be good, but it won't be the end of the world for the Mets. It might seem like it, but it won't be the end of the world for the Mets. So we'll see what happens here with Francisco Lindor and the Mets. Possibly negotiations falling through, according to Francisco Lindor, if this thing does not get done, once the Mets break camp and go north. Alrighty, guys, so that's all I got for today's video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you later.